All right, how you doing, everybody? Welcome to this week's live stream, Spikes and Gills. Every Monday night, I go live at 8:30 p.m. And the whole reason for that is to build a strong hunting, fishing community centered around my live streams every Monday night. And I want to converse with as many people as possible. I want to know from you if you'd like to be invited to join the live streams. I can invite guests to come to join me on Monday night's live stream. So you're not just looking at my talking head and you're not just listening to me jibber jabber and looking at me, but I could have a guest come on the live streams on Monday nights. I was going to have my buddy Jason join me tonight on tonight's live stream, but he actually, I'll show the pics too from the email he sent me. He saw some promising sign that told him he needed to get out there to his coyote bait to set new fresh bait and to hunt the coyote tonight. And here's why. This is why Jason didn't join this Monday night live stream. I will very shortly get into the meats and potatoes of what this live stream is all about based on the title and what you're here to listen to. I'm waiting for people to join anyway. There isn't anybody on here just yet. So, anyways, I think I can zoom in too. Zoom in and out. Nice. All right, this isn't the email. Hey, we got someone on here. I see you. Just join. Hey, leave your comments. Let me know who you are. Start chatting. Start the chat if you could. Hey, why'd you leave? I saw you. Where'd you go? Someone got on and then took off. Wait, why isn't it? Yeah, we want to go to the email. What is going on here? Click that. Go to here. Go to Gmail. Here we are. So. Oh, what is that? All right. So here's why Jason didn't join the live stream tonight as a guest. So my buddy Jason, he was going to be on here too, talking with all of you and be a guest on the live stream. But look at that. What do you guys make this out to be? Some coyote tracks, maybe? So he saw that he had some activity at his bait site. Here's the bait. So he had some bait set up, or these are some scraps, or what's left of what he had for bait. And as you see, there's all kinds of activity and commotion around his bait site. And he found this out earlier today. So he's hunting this area, this spot right now. So this is why Jason couldn't join the live stream tonight as a guest. But how many of you would like to get a request from Spikes and Gills to come on the live stream and to talk with the viewers and to talk hunting and fishing? We could discuss anything about deer hunting, bear hunting, moose hunting, turkey hunting, predator hunting. We can discuss topics and things about ice fishing, centered around ice fishing, fly fish, open water, fresh fishing. It doesn't matter. It's endless what we can talk about on this live stream. So just let me know in the comments, in the chat, if you'd like to join as a guest to help me talk with everybody and help me answer people's questions. Let me know if you'd like to get that request, and we'll go from there. So what I'm going to do is join chat right now. I'm going on my YouTube channel, and I'm clicking on the live stream so I can get on the chat. So I see someone's on here now. So if you're just joining, please start chatting away. Say hi, get the chat started so I can join the chat. And so before I get into the meats and potatoes of what this live stream is all about based on the title, I want the chat to get started. So I see there's a couple of people on here now. So if you could start chatting away, just say hi. Here, I'll show you. See how simple it is? Hi. There, I started it for you. So if you want to be a guest on Spikes and Gills live stream, if you don't want to just hear me talking, to see my talking head, but you yourself would like to be a guest speaker and a guest appearance on the live stream, let me know in the chat, and I will send a request to you via email. Here's my email. I'll put it in chat. wildmaineoutdoors@gmail.com. The guy that was going to be a guest speaker on this live stream tonight is actually coyote hunting. He saw a sign that pointed to he needed to be out there tonight. He saw the coyote were finally active around his bait site. He wanted to go freshen the bait, put some bait out, and be in position for tonight's hunt in hopes to shoot some coyote. So I can't blame him there. But if you would like to be a guest speaker, be a guest appearance on the Spice Gills live stream to talk ice fishing, to talk any hunting topic around deer hunting, turkey hunting, bear hunting, predator hunting, or ice fishing, fly fish, or whatever, then let me know in the chat, and I will, on a future live stream, send you a request to join me in the speaking. What is this? Let me know in the chat. Can you tell me what this is right here? Does it actually say what it is on here? It does, I think. I'm going to cover. What is this gadget here? What is this weird looking thing? What's it for? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. I'd like to eventually do something where I can maybe set this up so that you could be a possible winner of one of my two books, or both of my books, Wild Maine Outdoors, Hunting Tactics, Tricks, and Secrets, or The Sit Spot, Discovering the Forest Near You. These are two books. I've started a third book, and eventually I'll be doing a volume 2 of Wild Maine Outdoors, Hunting Tactics, Tricks, and Secrets. This book is like a great coffee table book, loaded with pictures. It's a sectional book, a section on deer hunting, bear hunting, coyote hunting, bobcat hunting, fox hunting, hence the back photo. So there's predator hunting sections in here, on black bear hunting section, and whitetail deer hunting section. Volume 2 will be about deer hunting, bear hunting, turkey hunting, and moose hunting. I want to get that out eventually, but these are both ebooks as well. They're electronic. They can be downloaded on your Nooks, Kindles, iPads, computers, phones. You can go to lulu.com to buy the ebooks, or you can go to you can find these, search these on Amazon.com as well to order them, order hard copies. But in the descriptions below all of my YouTube videos, there's the PayPal links to order these books. In the description below all the YouTube videos, you can go in that description and click on the PayPal links to order either Wild Maine Outdoors, Hunting Tactics, Tricks, and Secrets, or The Sit Spot, Discovering the Forest Near You. This book, The Sit Spot, Discovering the Forest Near You, is a great guide into like tracking awareness, and a great guide to lead individuals such as yourself into being more woods wise, to developing woodsmanship skills in the way of tracking and listening to the birds calls and sounds they're making, what that means, paying attention to the concentric rings that are caused by the slightest disturbance in the forest around you. And there's chapters in here about all that stuff, about awareness and so forth. Reading this will make you want to run to your nearby forest or the mountains to find a sit spot, a place where you can go to often to meditate, to be at one with the forest, to be able to just take it all in, to be able to listen to everything around you, and be able to learn about everything about that forest by finding your favorite sit spot. All right, so, and then obviously there's the link, the shopping icon you can click on to browse all the Spikes and Gills merch. There, I got that out of the way. So, all right. So 3 tips for catching more brook trout or landlocked salmon through the ice in the wintertime. So how come no one's joining the chat? Hello, anybody out there? Hello, anyone? So I'm starting to get into the meats and potatoes of this live stream. So I want to know if you guys are with me, if you're listening. Are you ready? It's quite strange because usually I have a lot of people chatting away. This is a quiet live stream for some reason. So 3 tips to catching more trout and salmon in winter. Talking fishing with me, yours truly, Justin. So tip number 1. Okay, now this is for catching the brook trout through the ice in the wintertime. Has anyone figured out what this is yet? What this is for? I don't have it in place, put in its position, but what is this? Let me know in the chat if you know what this is for. So tip number 1. Stay near shore. This is for catching more brook trout through ice. And why do you think that is? Let chat away. Tell me in the chat why it is that you should concentrate your fishing efforts for catching more brook trout through the ice in the wintertime. Concentrate your efforts close by or near the shorelines of the ponds and lakes. Why is that? Well, for starters, for one, in the wintertime, you've had your lake, you have had your turnover. And come springtime, when the ice thaws, you're going to have turnover happen again. Turnover is just where all your temperature of your water at the surface goes from being warm in the summertime, your summer months, spring, summer months, the warming of the water at the surface turns over to being cold, the coldest part of the water column, water body. And your warmer water is in the deepest parts of your ponds and lakes. And your less dissolved oxygen, less warmer water in the deep, right, in the wintertime. Your colder water, more dissolved oxygen, much easier to breathe. Your fish that are very sensitive to dissolve, your fish like the brook trout that require a lot more dissolved oxygen than your warm water species of fish. Hence they're going to be more in the shallows. They're going to be hanging more closer to the surface, closer to the ice. So depths of 4 to 12 feet are like adequate enough for catching brook trout in the wintertime through the ice. And number 2 reason why you might want to target brook trout near the shorelines around the lakes and ponds in the wintertime is because the brook trout, they're when hunting their food, when chasing like smelts and shiners, all the different species of bait fish, they're corralling and they're pushing or driving their groups of bait fish into the shallows. They're, for the most part, when drilling your hole, your shore, in 3 to 4 feet to 6 feet of water, you should be able to see bottom when looking down through the hole. And a lot of times you can sight fish. You could be jigging or take a shiner on a hook and not even set your tip up in the hole, and you could just jig, play around with the bait in the hole, or you could jig with a lure and see the trout coming at your bait, darting at your lure and stuff. And you may see a lot of bait fish and stuff swimming around too, where the trout are chasing the bait in the shallows, kind of driving them and try to corner them in the shallower areas under the ice to eat. So they're hunting and actually seeking out food in the shallows in the wintertime, and they have more dissolved oxygen there. And so obviously that on the flip side of things, come spring and summer, the lake turnover, pond turnover is going to happen again, and the obviously the surface is going to warm up, and your colder water is going to be in the deeper areas, and you'll have more, obviously, with the air or the wind blowing over the surface of the water and stuff, and the currents moving and stuff. So you're going to have more dissolved oxygen and more areas spread out in the deeps and shallows all over the ponds and lakes in the summertime than you necessarily would in the wintertime. But so the brook trout do well in the shallows in the wintertime. And so that's tip number one. Tip number two, the type of bait. When you should use, your shiners should be probably medium to large, anywhere between small to medium size. Maybe 1 inch to 2 inch shiners are perfect for brook trout, for your bait size. When hooking on the hook onto your tip ups or traps and setting them in the hole. Then tip number three for catching brook trout through the ice is always, obviously, another very important thing when fishing for brook trout, and I'm going to get into landlocked salmon here too in a moment, is you got to always check your state regulations, your state's laws and rules, and your state's regulations for where you're fishing for these brook trout. So make sure you're following all the laws, rules, and stuff. But tip number three, always have a jig pole and lures, really great trout lures for jigging through the ice ready. You should be jigging while you're waiting for a flag for a tip up from your trap, one of your traps. You should be jigging, because you could catch several brook trout in one hole with a lure, with a jig pole and lure set up, like I did just recently with the origami blade jigging spoon on the by 13 Fishing, hooked up to my Sonocore medium action jigging rod set up by 13 Fish. I caught 4 brook trout out of one hole with this origami blade jigging spoon just a couple days ago. And I caught more trout yesterday ice fishing with that same lure as well. So there you have it. So the 3 tips for catching more brook trout in the wintertime through the ice. Now transitioning into landlocked salmon. Now the tips are somewhat similar. The landlocked salmon, but there's some slight differences though. Your landlocked salmon, now they're notorious for swimming just under the ice. They really like that cold water, and they require a lot of dissolved oxygen, which is going to be closest to the surface. They like to scrape their dorsal fins and backs against the bottoms of the ice in the lakes and ponds that they live in. So it's actually beneficial to put your bait just under the ice, maybe 1 to 2 inches under the ice. Down the hole, you don't need to put your bait very deep for targeting the landlocked salmon. Now, the type of bait that you might want to consider using for the landlocked salmon are smelts, medium to large size, maybe small to medium size smelts, maybe like 4 to 6 inch smelts. That's great. This is actually some of the best live bait for landlocked salmon. But you can also catch landlocked salmon, several landlocked salmon this winter by just using shiners, using your medium to large size shiners. Now, for brook trout, you're using small to medium size shiners, maybe 1 to 2 inch shiners. For landlocked salmon, you might want to consider using 2 inch or bigger, 2 to 4 inch shiners, like larger, fatter shiners. Because if you can't get smelts, then target like larger shiners for the landlocked salmon. And the landlocked salmon, they're going to be in the shallows, for the most part, in depths of 2 to 12 feet, or 2 to 10 feet. The landlocked salmon are in the shallower areas, too, in the area around the shorelines, like the brook trout. But you could put tip ups out in the middle, in deeper water, and put your bait just under the ice and catch landlocked salmon. You can catch landlocked salmon and brook trout anywhere in the wintertime for the most part. In the wintertime, brook trout and landlocked salmon are going to be found in all parts. In some cases, in areas of the ponds and lakes that you otherwise wouldn't find the brook trout, landlocked salmon in the summertime. They're going to be hanging out and chasing, corralling and driving their bait into into corners and in the shallows and near the, like they're trying to pinch down their bait that they're chasing, actually seeking out to eat, to make it easier to snag their smelts and the shiners under the ice. So, and another tip for landlocked salmon, similar to brook trout, is jigging. Now, when jigging for landlocked salmon, you don't need to be real deep with your lure. You can stick to the shorelines and the shallows and just jig with your lures, maybe no more than like a foot, a couple inches to a foot under the ice. And you could very well catch landlocked salmon jigging that way. So there's your tips for catching more brook trout and landlocked salmon in the wintertime through the ice. So what do you all think of that? Please share away. Put in the chat. I'm pausing here just briefly to chat so I can type. So please put in your 2 cents. Let us all know what your tips are for catching brook trout. Trout and salmon. Yeah, put that in the chat. Please chat away. I'm sharing my email again. So if for those of you that have missed it, maybe you can use this email, wildmaineoutdoors@gmail.com, to send me your fishing or hunting success pictures and stories so I can give a shout out during my live stream about your hunting or fishing success story. Outdoors@gmail.com. wildmaineoutdoors@gmail.com. So use that email, my personal email, to send your pics and stories to. And yeah, I'll show your pics, share your story. You will join the live stream, join the chat, and share more details about your story and answer people's questions about the story that you shared with me through the email. And I'll show your pics and stuff, so forth, so on. Your trophy pics of your big fish you caught, your big buck or bear you killed, or coyote you killed, or whatever. It doesn't matter. And we can share that story. We can converse with one another, start the chat, and we can have a conversation centered around your success, your fishing or hunting success story. And we can learn from one another, sharing cool tips, tidbits, so we can all ultimately all become better fishermen and better hunters. So really what is going on here? So in essence, that's really what the purposes of my live streams every Monday night, starting at 8:30 p.m. and going until almost 10 p.m. or later. I want to build a strong hunting and fishing community centered around my Spikes and Gills live streams every Monday night. So, excuse me. How come no one put in the chat what this is yet? What is this device? What's it used for? I'll give you a hint. It has to do with ice fishing. What the heck is this thing? I actually haven't used it yet this year because, another hint, because I've mainly been jigging. I was running and gunning for brook. I've been running and gunning for brook trout, jigging, and I end with great success. So Mike Coombs says, never knew you did this every Monday night. Well, heck yeah. Duh. How's it going, pal? Long time no see. So Mike, thanks for joining the live stream. Thanks for joining the chat. I mentioned earlier in the live stream that my buddy Jason, not your Jason, but Jason Gibson, the guy I used to work with, he lives not far from me. He was going to be a guest speaker on my live stream. So you guys would have been seeing me and Jason chatting away and talking about fishing and hunting stories and so forth, so on, talking about the tips on catching more trout, salmon through the ice. he was going to be a guest speaker, but he's after the coyote tonight. He saw a fresh sign that told him he needed to get his butt out there now, tonight, to get after them pesky coyotes. So, but he might join the live stream as a guest speaker next Monday night. But Mike, if you're interested in being a guest speaker, if you have you have to have a YouTube account. You have to have a YouTube channel account set up for yourself to be able to join my live streams as a guest speaker. And I'll send the request along to you. You'll get it through, obviously, through an email, and I'll actually practice it. First, I was going to send a practice request to Jason tonight to see how it all worked. I have yet to do that yet in my live streams. I've been going live every Monday night for the last couple months, and the content has been about bear hunting, deer hunting, moose hunting, and now in turkey hunting stuff. And now I'm transitioning into ice fishing content on my live stream. But I plan on getting used to inviting guest speakers so that you guys don't have to be bored with my talking head and bored with just me every Monday night. I could have someone else on here as well to answer your questions and to talk away, share tips, cool tactics, tricks, and stuff centered around hunting all these critters and centered around fishing and stuff. Now, Mike, are you still making lures? If you're still on here, I don't know if you went away or not. But for those of you that are just joining us on this live stream, my buddy Mike Coombs, he's my best friend's father. He showed me some lures that he makes. He makes homemade bass fishing lures and stuff. They're really cool. I used to go bass fishing a lot with this Mike and Jason. He says, I have to Navy right now. I have too many. Oh, no, I have too many right now. Yeah, I guess Mike went hog wild on making homemade lures. He's saying he has too many right now. So he slowed down on that area. But, oh, Mike, do you still have your crossbow? Are you still deer hunting? Yeah, so Mike, I know you've been after, yeah. Mike, have you had any close encounters with deer this year in the last couple of years? Have you flung a bolt from your crossbow yet at a deer or anything for that matter? Let us know. The chat usually is flooded with several people. I usually have 5 to 10 different people on the chat, chatting away, asking questions, answering people's questions and stuff, joining the chat. So this is awesome that my best friend's father's on here on the chat. He discovered my chat. Yeah, or my chat, my live stream. Oh, Mike, you'll know what this is. Let everybody know in the chat, Mike, what the heck this thing is for, what it's used for. What is it? So he says, not my crossbow, compound, yes, a few years ago. Oh, you have a compound bow too? I thought you just hunted with a crossbow. That's cool, Mike. I didn't know you got a compound. What's your compound bow? What'd you get for a compound bow, Mike? And also, in this, a bubbler. Yeah, a bubbler. And Mike beat all of you. Yeah, a bubbler, aerator, bubbler, whatever. I haven't had to use it yet this year. I've been running and gunning for brook trout. I haven't bought a bucket of bait yet this year. I've been catching all the brook trout just jigging. Like in some cases, I had drilled just 2 holes, and in the second hole, I caught 4 brook trout with the origami blade jigging spoon by 13 fishing through. That was just a week ago, and then yesterday I caught 3 on the same lure. But I had drilled multiple holes to catch those 3 this time around. But I do plan on my next outing getting some bait, some live bait, and putting out the tip-ups. And I'll be hooking this bubbler aerator up. And I actually put my live bait See, did he answer yet? So Mike, I asked what you got for a compound bow. So I put my live bait in this gadget here, the Siberian ice box. It's a seat. You can open up this top compartment, and that's your tackle box. You can put your tools and lures. There's compartments on the lid itself for lures. There's deeper organizational like pockets and things for tools and other lures and tidbits and things. The live bait goes inside the middle. This holds your bait. Has side pouches, pockets. I put my slip over ice picks I would put on my boots. I store them in here. My ice picks I wear around my neck for in the event I broke through thin ice. I needed those picks to jab into the ice to help pull me up out of the hole onto the ice. I store them in there as well. And this can hold your rods, jigging rods and such and so forth. And it also is a seat too. So you don't need to bring an extra chair or seat. This is your seat or chair. And it has your bait, your lures, a whole bunch of stuff. So that in the bubbler, the aerator, you can see it right here. See this little doodad here? And then you got the hook, this guy here on the back of the bubbler aerator. That hooks onto that right there. And then this part of the bubbler, there's a slot up under the lid for the hose of the bubbler, the air to go through, to circulate through. And this goes into where the bait is. It sinks down in the water to aerate, keep that water aerated, keep that bait very active, more lively and active, such so forth. So that's cool. That's a cool bow, Mike. A Hoyt XT. I've never owned a Hoyt bow before. I've owned several Bowtech bows. I've owned a Bear bow. I've owned. Oh wait, I stand corrected. It wasn't a Hoyt though, was it? I don't know how many people that are watching this live stream, or those of you that are on here now. How many of you remember of or ever heard of the Golden Eagle bows? Golden Eagle was bought out by a different bow company, but there used to be Golden Eagle, and there was like Darton, and there used to be a whole bunch of different bow companies or bow names or brands. I never owned a Hoyt before, but I had a Golden Eagle, I had Bear. I want to buy really bad a Matthews bow. I've never owned a Matthews bow, but I'd like to buy like the newest make and model of the Matthews bow soon. But Hoyt is that's a great choice, Mike. So I expect you, Mike, to kill a deer this year with that. Okay? You promise me? Promise me, Mike, that you will kill deer with that bow this year. No pressure now. Nice. Man, I wish Jason was on here too, talking. So it's not just me. And I've had this live stream going for over an hour and a half before. I start at like 8:30 p.m. and I've had it go past 10. And that's when I have a lot of people on here. I've had over 100 and some odd people watching the live stream, and I've had like a dozen or more people chatting away in the chat. And so that's what the live stream's all about. What it's for. It's to build that community. Build a community, a strong community on the Spike Skills YouTube channel. This fishing and hunting community. So yeah. Mike's been the chatter tonight. He's a chatterbox here on the chat. I'd have Jason Gibson on here too. He'd be chatting away if he wasn't out coyote hunting. He sent me an email to apologize that he had to postpone the guest being a guest speaker on the live stream, because he had to get after them pesky coyotes tonight. Hey, hello. Yeah. No pressure now. Nice. So, Oh, Mike's good shit. He's good people. I grew up kind of thinking of Mike as like a second father to me. Mike and his wife, they were like a second mother, second father to me. I was always crashing at their house, spending weekends with them, with Jason, my buddy Jason, and them, and going fishing, hunting with him and stuff, so forth, so on. And Jason's they're all family. That's Mike Coombs and his wife and Jason. They're family. Jason was like a brother to me. We obviously we were at each other's birthday parties. We gave each other Christmas presents, birthday presents. We fished together, hunted together. We did everything together. I haven't had Jason and Josh, Skip and Steve and Mark join any of these live streams yet. Maybe one day I'll have to request them to come on. Actually, any one of them would be great guest speakers. Great to request having as a guest speaker on the live stream. Don't know if they would oblige. They'd probably politely decline, but yeah, but never hurts to ask, right? So I really appreciate you, Mike, for checking out the live stream and joining the chat. So the Hoyt XT2, I'm going to look that up. The Hoyt XT 2000. I'm going to look up Mike's bow. So those of you that are following along on this live stream, hopefully you got to see, listen to my spiel about the 3 tips on catching more brook trout and landlocked salmon through the ice in the wintertime. I went over all that already earlier. If you missed it, then you can watch the live stream from the beginning at a later time. So that's no big deal. So I want to go here, search, let's do new tab. Oh, close out of this. Let's click on, let's do new tab. What's that there? And search the Hoyt. Oh, there it is right there. I think this is Mike's bow. So the Hoyt XT2000 isn't a single bow model, but refers to Hoyt's XT2000 limbs, popular in the early 2000s on risers. It's a nice bow, Mike. Oh yeah, that'll get the job done. Cool. Very cool. Nice. Yeah, that's a good bow. Let's go back here. Yeah, that's where, yeah, Hoyt XT2000. So yeah, I searched that right. Nice. Nice bow, Mike. So I blew a string and I didn't ruin the limbs. Okay. So he blew the string. Oh, hold on a second here. Oh, I gotta use this right here. There we go. So have you made an appointment to get that restrung yet? Are you restring? So I blew a string and I didn't ruin the limbs. So the limbs are good. The bow itself is fine. But, oh, how'd you blow the string? Blow a string. You didn't get hurt, did you, Mike? A lot of times when the strings break on the bow, well, I mean, there's always your normal wear and tear, your fraying, your strings and cables, all your strings and stuff on a compound bow must be lubed up, must be kept moistened with wax and other things that you can get for that to keep them from fraying and drying out. The number one rule with bow maintenance, compound and bow and crossbow maintenance, typical general maintenance and upkeep, is keeping them strings and cables moist, keeping them from drying out. Don't let them dry. and don't let them dry out for too long periods of time, because then they will blow, they'll break on you. And heaven forbid someone get hurt, one come back, smack you in the face and make you go blind, take out an eye or so forth. So obviously dry fire and compound bow is no. Limbs could splinter or break off and break in your hand. You could break your wrist, arm. You could have pieces and shards get you in the face. So, oh, you said I pulled on it, lol, and yeah, it hurt. Oh, whoa. So close call. I bet it hurt. Oh, man, you're lucky then if you didn't break anything or lose an eye. Wow. I've never had that happen to me before, Mike. The strings, I break on my compound bows or crossbows. So was that a lesson learned? Are you going to keep your strings from drying out and fraying? You keep them waxed up real good. That you can prevent a string from breaking or blowing on you by not letting them dry out. Constantly inspecting your equipment when taking it out of the cases before going in the field. It doesn't matter if you checked the bow or gun or rifle a week, 2 weeks prior to the hunting season. Every single day you go in the field with your weapon, you should be looking it over. You just never know what you could find, what could have went wrong. The unforeseen thing could have happened to your bow or firearm when you're out in the field that you just didn't know about, and you could have a dry fire, misfire happen. You could have your bow break. So be inspecting all that constantly and doing your general upkeep maintenance and stuff. So I was doing maintenance on it at the time. Oh, you were? Okay. So how on earth did it break if you're doing maintenance on it? Were you adjusting maybe your draw length or something, or your poundage? Were you backing the limbs in or out, perhaps maybe to adjust the poundage of the bow? And then maybe that's when the string let go. 'Cause that's a possibility. There's 5 watching now. 3 tips that will help you catch more. Nice. Cool. So yeah, I did see this. So yeah, Mike, when you were doing the maintenance to the bow, did the string break because you were backing your limbs out, maybe to adjust your draw, your poundage or draw length, perhaps, or so forth, or so on? I think the string must have been pretty dry. I mean, let's see. I mean, all things are going, all like firearms, bows, crossbows are going to undergo normal wear and tear, your normal wear for that matter. For example, one thing I can think of too that actually in the instructions when you buy it, it says replace after 5 years because of normal wear and tear, and that is your tree saddles. How many of you knew this? That if you're getting into saddle hunting, I just bought my first saddle this year. I love it. I'll never go back. I made the plunge. I made the leap. I'm a proud tree saddle owner, tree saddle hunter now. And I bought the new cruiser saddle, the newest of the cruiser saddles, tree saddles set up. I bought this year. And the first thing I noticed when opening up the package and reading the instructions is to replace it in 5 years, no matter what. Get rid of it, toss it. It's no good. After 5 years, replace it. What's that tell you about, just everything? A bow and arrow, I do know that compound bows should probably be replaced every so many years as well. If you're anything like me, you shoot a lot. When I was younger, I was shooting my compound bows every single day, and the limbs were warping and twisting. bending. The strings were wearing out. I had to go get the bow restrung and have like a pro shop do maintenance on it, or I just got rid of the bow. I bought a new one altogether to replace it because I used the compound bow so much, shooting constantly nonstop. And it's no different with anything really that you use. The more you use it, use your firearms and your bows and your tree saddles, the more you use your fishing equipment and gear, the more you use any of your gear for that matter for fishing hunting, it's going to have to be replaced. It's going to have to be inspected daily. Just take and always do your general maintenance. So he says I was doing. So Mike said no. So yeah, so Mike wasn't backing out his limbs or adjusting his limbs. So what were you doing, Mike, for maintenance to the bow that caused it to break? If you don't mind me asking, Mike, if you're still on here. I won't keep you too long. It's past your bedtime, isn't it, Mike? It's almost past mine. What the heck time is it? 9? Yeah, I've got to get up earlier tomorrow, too. You were waxing. Oh. The string broke on you while you were... Yeah, you would get hurt doing that. And you said... So I pulled on it. Yeah. So you did say earlier it hurt. So where did the string hit you? When the string broke, Mike, did it hit you in the arm, face, chest? Where did you get hit? Because you did say it hurt when it broke. I've never had this experience before, so I'm curious. I like to hear about these experiences and learn from it. You can, obviously, we can all learn from other people's experiences here, and that's what's awesome about me doing these live streams every Monday night. You get people like Mike coming on here on the chat, sharing their experiences and their stories, and we can talk with one another, chat away, and learn from one another. So I hit him in the forearm. So Mike, he was looking over his bow. He was waxing the string. So he was keeping the string moist. So I find that hard to believe the string actually broke if you were keeping it moist, keeping it from drying out. I get it could have just been strictly normal wear and tear, and it might have the normal wear and tear overrode your general wax and general maintenance. So yeah, Mike said the string hit him in his forearm when it broke on him when he was waxing it. But that would hurt. And a lot. Think of the tension and pressure behind that on that string when that snaps. He's lucky it didn't take his eye out or something. Or slice his face maybe and give him a nasty scar. That could have happened too. Let's see. Huh. That's quite the experience you had there, Mike. I have to say, I had a bow, an old bow of mine. I almost had its limbs bust on me. But this goes back to what I just mentioned several minutes earlier about constantly inspecting your gear, your equipment, looking it over daily. Doesn't matter if you did before the season. You should every day before going in the field. You should be inspecting your gear, your equipment. I did just that, and I noticed a splintering and fraying on one of the limbs on one of my compound bows. It was getting ready to break. So if I hadn't been inspecting that bow and looking it over every day before going shooting it and going hunting with it, I wouldn't have noticed the splintering and fraying of the limb, and it could have busted on me. I could have drew that bow back. It could have broke on the draw. It could have broke on the release of the arrow. It could have exploded in my face. I could have gotten pieces of the limb in my eye and face. I could have broke my arm, wrist. I could have got severely hurt. So it says, might have made me look bad. Night. That's in response to my statement earlier about, oh, that's funny. Mike was referring to the fact that actually the string broke on him, hit him in the forearm, but I was saying how lucky he was it didn't take out his eye, or the string didn't hit him in the face and give him that nasty scar. He's saying it might have made him look better. Might have made him look more badass if he had that cool scar. He probably would have looked cooler. I know Mike personally, everybody. I grew up. I spent a lot of time with him and his family and stuff. So yeah, Mike, you probably would have looked pretty badass with a cool scar, cool battle scar. Yeah. Man, how sucky would that have been if I wasn't inspecting my bow every day? I was a little nervous. I was going to take a drink. Did you guys see that? Yeah, let's just do it anyway. Keep the throat from drying out. Yeah, that would suck, having a bow exploding in your face. All right, so yeah, I've been live for almost an hour now, everybody. How cool is that? Mike says, at full draw, it could have done major damage. Oh, no doubt, Mike. Yeah, if you were just waxing, the bow was Mike's bow was relaxed. He was just waxing the string when it snapped on him. But at full draw, he could have got even more hurt. For sure, if that string broke on him when he was drawing it back, he would have got real hurt. So, I mentioned this in the beginning of the live stream, but I'll mention it again. My 2 books. I have 2 books here. Wild Maine Outdoors, Hunting Tactics, Tricks, and Secrets. And The Sit Spot, Discovering the Forest Near You. And the PayPal links to order any one of these books, or both these books, are in the descriptions below all my videos. If you click on the description, the more button, in the description below all my YouTube videos, you can click on the PayPal links to order the hard copies of these books, or you can search them in Amazon.com. You can go to Lulu.com or BarnesandNoble.com, and you can download the ebooks. They're also ebooks, so you can download them on your Nooks, Kindles, iPads, computers, phones, or whatever, what have you, and buy the ebooks, or you can order the hard copies by using the PayPal links below in the descriptions below all my videos, or just ordering them through Amazon or through Lulu.com or BarnesandNoble.com. So the Wild Maine Outdoors Hunting Tactics, Tricks, and Secrets is a 5-section book. There's a section on whitetail deer hunting, black bear hunting, section on coyote hunting, bobcat hunting, fox hunting. And yeah, it has lots of pictures. I did interviews with the state of Maine bear biologists. With Randy Cross. There's the chapters in here about interviews I've done with biologists, with other hunters, their stories and tips and stuff. Things I learned from them are in the chapters I put in this book. Here's a hunter, bobcat hunter, coyote hunter, Galen Rulin. Chapter in here about him, about live trapping bear and hunting bobcat, coyote, and all that stuff. So forth, so on. Obviously, my experiences are put in here, some of the chapters in this book. Then there's the Sit Spot, Discovering the Forest Near You. Yeah, this is a great guide to help anyone become more woods-wise, to help just develop your skills, your woodsmanship skills is what it's all about. There's chapters in here about tracking and awareness, being aware, listening to the birds, what they're saying, how that could help you become more aware of your surroundings, help you become a better hunter and get closer to wildlife. There's stuff in here about tracking, and stuff in here. A chapter about this one's really mainly not really a hunting book. It's just a book that you'd read to help you develop woodsmanship skills, to help you ultimately become a better hunter in the end, really. So that's the Sit Spot, Discovering the Forest Near You. My motivation for writing this book, this little pocket guide, like little book, was me taking the Advanced Wood Survival course with Michael Douglas, who lives here in Maine. Michael Douglas took courses and did all of his training with Tom Brown Jr., the tracker. And Tom Brown Jr., he's from the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. Tom Brown Jr. learned all of his skills from the Apache Indian he called Grandpa. I have Tom Brown Jr.'s books. Michael Douglas took his advanced courses and learned from Tom Brown Jr. Mike Douglas was my instructor, my advanced wood survival instructor. and all the things I learned from him and in that course, just all on the way, all my hunting experiences, all the experience I have in the mountains and forests led to this book, The Sit Spot, Discover the Forest Near You. So there you have it, my two books, Wild Maine Outdoors, Hunting Tactics, Tricks, and Secrets, and The Sit Spot, Discover the Forest Near You. You can click on the PayPal links in the description below all my videos to order the hard copies, or you can go to lulu.com. I'll put it right down here in the chat. You can go to lulu.com or Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble, or obviously Amazon. You can go to any one of them. You can go to lulu.com, Barnes & Noble. You can order you can download the ebooks, buy the ebooks for any one of these two books, to download them on your Nooks, Kindles, iPads, laptops, desktops, phones, what have you. So there you go. And obviously there's the shopping icon below all my videos to browse my Spikes and Gills merch. There. So I hope all of you, Mike, first of all, I definitely want to thank you again, Mike, for joining the live stream, joining the chat. Hope your forearm feels better, buddy. Hey, maybe next time try to get that cool battle scar across your cheek, Mike, so you'll be more badass. But thank you again, Mike. So I go live. Mike, remember, I'm on these live streams every Monday night. If I skip a Monday, it's because I'm hunting, fishing, or I'm doing something important for taxidermy, because I do taxidermy, or I'm sick, or I'm doing something with family. Obviously, family first, God first, family second, hunting, fishing third and fourth. God, family, and then everything else follows, right, everybody? So I obviously have my priorities to always remember, and family is one of the big ones. So I might be busy with family or other tasks if I'm skipping a live stream. But for the most part, from all intents and purposes, I go live every Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. and the live stream will go on indefinitely if I have plenty of people on joining the live stream and they're on the chat. I could go live for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. I've been 2 hours before. It depends on the interaction I'm getting. I want this live stream to be big, man. I want to build this community around Spikes and Gills live streams every Monday night, this hunting, fishing community, so we can learn from one another, share one another's stories. And remember, I'm going to put down my email again. Use this email, wildmaineoutdoors@gmail.com. So wildmaineoutdoors@gmail.com. To send your hunting or fishing success pictures and stories to. Send all that to the email, wildmaineoutdoors@gmail.com. I'll give a shout out. I'll show your pics, share your story. You'll join the live stream in the chat, and you can share more detail about the story, where you can answer people's questions, and we can all have a discussion centered around your success stories, and we can learn from that, so forth, so on. So remember all that. Great, going to thank you everybody for joining this week's live stream, and I'll catch you again later. Yep. Have a good night, Mike. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for joining the live stream this Monday. And oh yeah, another important thing I want to mention is if you want to be a guest speaker, if you want to be a guest on the Spikes and Gills live streams, and you want me to send you a request to join the live stream as a guest speaker, then let me know. You can email me at wildmaineoutdoors. You can let me know in the chat right now if you want me to request you to come on as a guest speaker, so you can discuss fishing and hunting stories, just topics around fishing and hunting, and so forth, so on, and help answer people's questions. And yeah, so, but obviously, when I do request you as a guest, we'll brainstorm ideas, come up with a topic to talk about. Like in this case, in this live stream, was 3 tips to catch more brook trout or salmon through the ice in the winter. So it's not random. I actually do come up with a specific topic, and I plan accordingly. My live streams are somewhat organized, and then as the live stream gets going, gets hot, a lot more people join, the chat. Tangents could occur. I could stray and talk about deer hunting or bear hunting, or talk about some other fishing topic, totally entirely together. Yeah, you just never know. But if you join as a guest, we will organize an idea, plan an idea, talk something to discuss, talk about with one another, to engage others in the chat to join the conversation, so we can all chat one another, and me and you will just chat about that topic and those subjects, and we'll just go from there. So, yeah, thank you everybody for joining this week's live stream. I'll see you back here next Monday night, 8:30 p.m. Everyone have a good night.